Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Gotti, and...
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show.
Yippee-yi-yay.
Guitar Knobs podcast, everybody. Yes. We've got a fantastic guest on the line. Guest, who are you?
My name is Dan Rigby. I'm with Grit Brothers Guitars.
Excellent. Now, Grit Brothers Guitars, handmade guitars out of where?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Wow, it's nice. It's a feel good thing. You're like, I got a handmade guitar from Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
It just for those of us who don't live in the starter colonies area, it's kind of nice,
It's a good place to live. I dig it.
Yeah. And where can people go to see your guitars?
Well, primarily Instagram. And if so that would just be Instagram at Grit Brothers Guitars, one word. And I say primarily there because I'm digitally lazy and don't really keep my website up. But if you're so inclined and you would prefer an URL, the website is realgritbrothers.com.
Gotcha.
And from a brick and mortar standpoint, my guitars are available at River City Guitars here in beautiful Richmond, Virginia.
Ah,
Okay.
nice.
All right. Do you do anything on Instagram or on Reverb?
I don't.
Okay.
Is there a fake Grit Brothers guitar?
Is there a fake one?
Yes. Since you have real Grit Brothers.
Yes. Well, man, opened a can of worms right at the beginning.
Uh-oh. We don't have to address that if you don't
run
want.
afoul of a large guitar company.
Ooh.
And while I was taking a self-proclaimed hiatus from online life, I had let my domain expire.
Oh.
Because, as we talked about, my previous role involves working with websites in that realm. I was able to use my Whois directory to figure out who bought it.
Uh-huh.
And the day I received a C&D letter from a said company is the day a random Asian company procured that domain, GritBrothersGuitars.com.
And Grit Brothers Guitars. Or just gritbrothers.com.
Oh, well, now Grit Brothers is that one existed before me. They were, last I checked, they were a Vietnamese engineering consulting firm, but it's been a while. Maybe it has changed. But some unknown third party bought Grit Brothers Guitars on the day I received, one of many C&D letters. And I decided when I figured that out that I guess I would be realgritbrothers.com.
All right, that's good.
So there kind of is a fake Grit Brothers. It's somebody bought my domain and maybe they did it at the behest of somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you could always reverse it and do the Brothers Grit guitars.
That's true. That is true.
All the ways to get around the rock and the road.
Yes. See, this is why you're on. We're here to provide this service to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to find out all about Grit Brothers Guitars and from whence it came and where it might be going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice.
We're also going to have a good time. And,
or else.
I want to make it clear when we are sitting here doing this, we are thinking of the people that are listening, specifically those that we read off at the end of every show. Like, honestly, we have lots of communication with many of you, and that you guys are with us in spirit, in mind, even though the rest of our table is empty, which is kind of sad. But here we are, and we're going to have some fun talking. So, announcements.
Yes.
I wanted to recall the fact that we are in process of setting up the pedal build for Hello Sailor.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
So about a week or so ago, I sent out a what do you call it?
Email.
DM. A form.
A form?
A form to find out which of our
How did you send this
executive
form?
producers and grand poobahs. It's Google form.
Google form.
Google form. Our executives and grand poobahs.
Yes.
Which of them wanted to be included in
the guinea pigs, if you will,
doing this? So that is getting sorted out.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about where this is going to go. So there. That's good. That's more to come on that.
I can't wait to burn my fingers on the soldering iron.
Yes, you don't get to play. Oh, maybe we'll see.
Forget it.
We'll see.
No,
I don't know how many people. I got to.
You
check
said
with Joe.
no, and so
Okay.
no, I'm not going to do it.
Anything else?
Yes, I do have something.
Announcements?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So an episode or 2 or 3 or 4 ago, we talked about Julien Boutin.
Yeah.
A book.
Boutin. No, just Boutin.
Boutin.
Yeah.
I'll double check with Julien.
Yeah.
Because it's Boutin.
It's Boutin.
Yeah.
Trust. Okay, go ahead.
And he's coming out with another book that I alluded to.
Man.
And this one is the Gallagher's Collection, the Rory Gallagher Collection.
Oh.
And, I mean, Rory was probably best known for his really beat-up Strat that he played for a million years, but there were other things in his collection. And
way ahead of his time, that fellow.
Well, you know, he was for those who don't know, he was an Irish blues player.
Yeah.
He was coined the greatest guitarist you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But he was such an influence on so many people. But this book is coming out on March 17th, appropriately.
Oh, wow. Okay.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
You know.
Well, yeah.
Of course. Mm-hmm. So you can pre-order it. I think it's a $75 book hardcover through Amazon, but who knows what it'll end up being after that.
Yeah.
But based on the photos that they have published on there, it looks fantastic.
That's really cool.
So Julien, a very busy guy.
Yes. Busy making books.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to discuss what is going on in our music worlds this week. Mm-hmm. We're going to start off with Tony.
Again?
And Dan, as we're sitting here, just be thinking about anything that might be happening in your music world that isn't necessarily building guitars.
Oh.
Right on.
All right. So go ahead, Tanya.
Well, this week, it's something that I discovered a little bit ago, but I use it now every week at least. I always used micro mesh sanding pads or sanding paper, which is basically a very fine, goes from like 1,500 grit to 12,000 grit. Very fine, and it's used
12,000.
12,000. Very,
Isn't
very
that just
fine.
copy paper?
No, it actually does have a little grit to it.
Oh.
But this stuff was originally developed for the aircraft industry, for polishing scratches out of aircraft windshields and things like that. Mm-hmm. I use it for polishing edges as well as when I do bound guards. I get a super clean polish. And, back before I discovered what I'm going to talk about, I would literally sit there with a block and do circles, do straight lines back and forth, and it took forever. I discovered that micro mesh is also available in 5-inch hook and loop, so I can attach this to onto my Dynabraid sander.
Yes,
and it literally has saved me countless hours. I mean, it's amazing, and the job is much better.
Why can't you just put it in the oven and let it heat up a little bit and so it smooths out?
I'll bring some over to your house and we could try that.
All right.
But anyhow, it's also works really well on guitar finishes. I don't know that I would use the Dynabraid approach on it with guitar finishes. Well, I'll take that back. If it's a poly finish, it actually would work really well. If it's a nitro finish, not so much.
Gotcha.
But it's good if you have to do some spot finishing. So just look it up. I think Stu Max sells a kit. It's available at a lot of woodworking stores. A lot of guys use it for when they turn pens. Mm-hmm. They use it to polish things out on a lathe. So it's really great material, and there you go.
Okay.
Tip of the day.
Bit of technicality from the corner over here.
Yes.
Dan, how about yourself?
What's going on in my world right now is my 3-year-old's outside the door screaming at me. That's what's happening right now.
Excellent.
Honestly, not much. Like I tend to run a weird variety of music when I'm working here. I often start my day off with Rhapsody in Blue. And then quickly pivot off to like some Huey Lewis or some Dead Kennedys or something. I've been really into Bedtime for Democracy again. No,
Okay,
not that one. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Frankenchrist.
Okay.
Frankenchrist, because the Stars and Stripes of Corruption is one I really like lately.
Yeah. I remember when I pulled the sleeve out of that album at the record store, I almost passed out. Holy macaroni. We won't get into that, but
Yeah, I just happened to. The only version I had of that for a long time was just a duped tape. So I've never actually seen the material, the graphic materials with that album. So I imagine it sounds like it's something. But I probably one of the only people you'll meet who didn't get around to discovering good Kiss until like Ace Frehley died. And I said, hey, maybe it's not just Paul and Gene being jerks. And it turns out it isn't. No offense to any Kiss fans. So I've been into that. But, man, mostly I just listen to weird music while I'm working out here.
Nice.
that'll work, man. That's quite a range. I like that.
Well, Huey Lewis and Dead
I-
Kennedys in the same sentence never happens.
My 80s
Well, and
mix
Gershwin,
is,
too.
Oh, yeah, starting off with Gershwin, yes.
Yeah, I mean, when the algorithm-y thing picks out its 80s mix for me, it really is like Huey Lewis and Dead Kennedys and Megadeth and it's just random.
That's
Hawaiian
great.
music, maybe.
Love it.
Any case.
Variety
that's
is
pretty
the
much-
spice of life, as they
Indeed.
say.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep, true.
Well, that's good. Todd, what about you?
Well, two things. One, I had as I was sitting there, I've been stewing on what I want to do with this DIY build.
Yes.
As far as like enclosure and just theme, I'm like I want to have some fun with it.
Okay.
And I came up with a really good idea that I'm not fully going to disclose, but it's going to require making my own knobs for it because it's going to be super custom. I'm pretty excited about this, and I got a bit of inspiration from my early morning cup of Joe.
Ooh.
And that's about as far as I can go with it. So that's one thing.
Okay.
The second thing was way back for Christmas, which is like almost a month ago now. Well, it is a month ago now. Over that, my mom was distraught because one of the Christmas gifts that she got me hadn't arrived, and it kept getting pushed back, and she just felt like the bad mom and everything. I'm like, it's okay. Well, said package arrived.
Oh.
And I had held out on buying this for a long time because I'm just like, it's a slightly more expensive album, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get it gifted at some point or other. I can be patient.
Mm-hmm.
It is I think one of the greatest albums ever made.
Okay.
I really do believe that.
Okay. Do
it's
tell.
Urban Hymns from The Verve.
Ah.
And I had a firsthand experience with Joe in the UK because they opened up for Oasis, and I was just an absolute emotional wreck. And it was just so great to just I was cleaning the dishes and I was in the mood, and it was great.
Nice.
Yes, so I was very, very excited to get that double album.
Double album.
Yeah,
Vinyl,
it's awesome.
obviously.
Yeah. So, yay, me.
All
Anyway.
right. Good for you. The gift arrived.
Yay. Thanks, Mom.
Go Mom.
Mom doesn't have to sweat.
Yeah. Okay, well, one thing that we have got to discuss is
Yes.
how important actual good patch cables are for your pedal board.
Yes.
In fact, we're not even going to discuss it. We're just going to say skip the discussion, go over and get some Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
Where do you get them?
TourGearDesigns.com.
And
once you load up your cart, because you're going to want a whole bunch of them, we've said that for a very long time, and it is absolutely true. Just put a bunch in the cart, then hit pay. But don't worry, you're going to have a chance. You're like, well, I thought there was supposed to be a code. That's when you get the code. Tony, what's the code?
it is the guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
And what do you get when you put the code in?
It will deduct a whopping 15%.
Yes. So
Hey.
you get a smile.
Yes.
You get a smile. And then you get your patch cables, and then you smile again.
Yes, you'll love these.
And then you
love these.
Yes, you do a baseball batter's like kiss to the sky thing because of us. Anyways, all right.
What's that URL again?
That the URL is tourgeardesigns.com. Thanks for the prompt there, Dan. tourgeardesigns.com. They're honestly, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
We've been
Great people to work with.
Yep.
And make a great product. And it's very reasonably priced.
Very. So thanks to Tour Gear Design for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor. All right, Dan Rigby, Grit Brothers Guitars. What is your 4 on the floor?
All right. So the one, more than anything, I kind of want running, even when I'm just plugging straight in, basically, is my Dunlop Echoplex preamp. I had read somewhere, like I never understood Eddie Van Halen description of this Echoplex thing he had and it mounted in a bomb. And I read somewhere, though, that the secret sauce that like him and Angus and a bunch of other guys used was using an old Echoplex tape machine. And I'm going to probably get this wrong, but as a preamp. So I gather then the thing is to buy this little pedal that duplicates that or replicates it. I love it. It just kind of makes your tone better, whatever you're playing through. Mm-hmm. So that's always my go-to.
Which pedal is it? The EP Boost or the Echoplex?
The Echoplex preamp.
Preamp. Okay.
It only goes to 9. I'm looking at it now. So if you need it to go to 10 or 11, maybe you want a different brand or something.
I think is that made by Dunlop?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Yes. There's just a great big Echoplex on the front.
Echoplex.
How about number 2?
All right. So number 2 is a basic overdrive of unnamed variety by Missouri Electrical Box Company.
Ooh.
I'm not sure exactly what he calls it. It was one of the first drive pedals, I think, or one of his prototypes. And he sent it to me just to have and try out. So that's why I have it, and I love it. It does a good job of kind of getting things sounding a little plexi-like.
Okay. And is this one with graphics on it, or is it like just plain?
It's plain with the name written in Sharpie by me.
Okay, got it.
When I got it, it was just a plain metal box. Nowadays, I believe he has graphics and stuff on them.
Yeah,
He might call this one his All-American drive. I'm not positive, but I think maybe that might be it.
Is there one knob on it or multiple?
3.
3. Okay, no, let's see. Well, anyways, go check it out for
great,
yourselves, everybody.
Yeah, so if just a guy I've become buddies with for the last 3-4 years on Instagram. If you check out his account, Missouri Electrical Box Company, he used to go by the name Scientific Uppercut. But he makes good stuff, and he's been making a bunch more pedals since then. I think I've had it about a year and a half or so now.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to check that out. That is Missouri Electrical Box Company on Instagram, too. We'll have to check him out.
Correct.
Number 3.
Number 3 is a drive of kind of any variety by Hello Sailor. And what I mean by that is right now I happen to be looking at the box of rock he made for me about a year ago with Betty and Wilma on the front.
Yes.
I, at one point, had a Rangemaster that we used for promotion, so sadly I no longer have that. And prior to that, I had his Kossoff drive.
Yes.
Which same thing. We used it in a promotion, and some lucky person out there has it. But my number 3 is I always want to have something by Joe Holiday.
Yeah.
Hello Sailor.
Yep.
So.
He's a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, and I've actually the last time I was there, The only time I was out there that was this fall when I went out to visit him. He had another one with I can't remember if it was Betty Ann Wilmer or just Betty, but he had a Flintstone one on the rack. So and it might still be available there. So
What color was it?
I feel like it was blue. I could be wrong.
All right. I was hoping you were going to say yellow, and I was hoping it was going to be the one I'm looking at right now.
Oh,
but
it might be. I like I
Probably
said, I
not.
could be wrong. There was a whole chef's baker rack of them. So
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that he makes them aboard ship was that's the coolest.
I agree. I could not agree more.
Hello, sailor.
Last one, number 4.
Number 4 is a modified Dunlop wah. So it's a crybaby, but somebody put a potentiometer in it. So it's got like a tone knob, basically.
Oh.
And, so you can kind of change the sweep and make it sound, a range of different ways. But, I've always liked those wah pedals. And then when I had seen this one on eBay with this tone knob on it, I just gave it a try and I love it. It's cool, especially if you like using your wah, maybe not so much to get a wah effect, but to dial in a specific kind of like dirty tone.
Yeah.
You have a little more range to play with than just the foot sweep, so I dig it.
That is very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, there's quite a few little mods that you can do with the old wahs and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of how they came up with the cocked wah kind of vibe pedal, right?
You could set it at that.
Taking
sweet
the
spot.
guts out and putting it in a normal pedal and
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, that's a good 4 on the floor, I think. Methinks that'll do nicely, sir. We are going to enter the grand ballroom of interview-ness right now. And so, Dan, can you give us just an overview of what you do?
Yeah, so being fully transparent, I pick up husks from Precision Guitar Kits in Canada. Give them a shout out, PGK. It's a wood shop up there that allows me to not waste my time reinventing the wheel. So I basically buy those, then I reshape them into my own specific shapes, do my stuff to them, and get them to play really nicely. But I would not consider myself a luthier. I work on the necks. I spend a lot of time on fret ends and fretboard edges, a lot of times on getting all that stuff right.
You seem to like to alter like body styles. That seems to be a common theme in the ones that I've seen that you've done.
Yes, I like making ones that are familiar look more aggressive. One of my favorite guitars ever was an old Univox High Flyer I had. My buddy picked one up, and then I played his and said, I have to have one. So like 2003, I got it for like $220 on eBay. But if you're familiar with those guitars, they're a take on the old Maserati's, but kind of a little bit meaner looking. And the way they look a little upside down and slanted to the back just looks more aggressive to me. And so when I started kind of thinking of my own shapes to make, I basically thought about what would it be like if Johnny Ramone played this guitar? Is it, and so the horns are backwards. What would it look like if you're a righty, but your guitar looks like you're a lefty? Mm-hmm. So a lot of what I'm doing is just trying to get things to look a little meaner and a little bit like the weird, goofy cartoons I saw in the 70s where they never drew guitars right, and so you'd see a guy in an ad, like an illustration with a guy playing a guitar and the horns would be wrong. They'd be backwards, and like to me, that always looked cooler. Mm-hmm. Hendrix playing a righty guitar looked a lot cooler than anybody else playing a Strat, so a lot of them are just trying to make them look like kind of like left-handed cigarettes, if you will.
When you're looking to finish your guitars, like some people they favor colors or even styles of paint, graphics, sparkles, and stuff like that. Do you have any like preference on what you do?
My preference really is I use Nitro Lacquer by Oxford Supply Company, and it's like I just get a kooky in my idea in my head, and whatever that is, I decide I want to build it, and that's what I want to see. And there's really kind of no bounds as far as from a color standpoint. Like, for me, like I really like Olympic white guitars, but as far as building them, a lot of it's just, hey, I've got like this can and this can. I want to see what it's going to make if I spray them both on this guitar. Let's see what happens. I used to get a lot of questions about my method, and the main thing I could say was just try reckless ignorance. Just get out there and, I just want to see. I want to see what'll happen if I go pick up this thing from the hardware store. What's it going to do to this guitar? And honestly, the best stuff has come up that way. I learned a long time ago playing music that oftentimes the people that were the funnest to listen to were the ones who sometimes they didn't really know what they were doing, so they didn't have an ego attached to it. There was not self-consciousness involved. And at an early point, I kind of made a decision that that's what I wanted to do with this. Just, it's not my name on it, not trying to, I want to use, when I started, my naivety as my secret weapon. Like I didn't have enough of a clue why something was a bad idea not to try it. And I've just tried to hold on to that, so I try to keep things very experimental.
Well, there's something cool about like a lo-fi attitude. When, whether you approach that to rock and roll or whether you approach that to our country or just about anything, there's, I think, it's funny if you think about cars and stuff. Like if you translate that to cars, I mean, there are painting artists out there that are literally painting cars to look like they've been sitting out in somebody's yard for 50 years.
Yep.
Which is awesome, and also like that's wild that someone said, you know what, I need this car to look completely beat down but not continue to rust.
So it's funny you mentioned that. The good friend of mine who came up with the name Grit Brothers for us as people in like 1988ish, back in like 2000, he's a car enthusiast, and he had sent me these photos of people with their BMWs with rusted hoods. And like, it's exactly, like these expensive high-end German like sports cars and luxury mobiles, but with like parts of them just rusted all out.
Yeah.
And that actually had a lot to do with kind of what I'm going for. Like, I'm not trying to make vintage looking guitars at all. I want them to look like there's new parts and old parts that don't really match up. And it's like the contrast between the two is kind of the interesting part.
Gotcha.
So maybe it's a really old beat up car with like a really good modern engine and really nice rims. However lackadaisical I am maybe about the appearance of them, it kind of take the opposite approach when it comes to setting them up and making sure they play right and making sure they sound good. But from a visual standpoint, I'm very experimental.
Gotcha.
Like I try to do something different every build and try a new technique almost every build.
Yeah, and it looks like you offer a range of finish options, anything from new to really beat up.
Yeah, I do. And some of that just happens organically, meaning sometimes the guitar is just not going to come out clean. Yep. And that's just how it is. Other times, maybe I've had some mental health issues that meant some of the guitars got a little beat up.
Yeah, you can ask Dennis Fano about that. I don't think Dennis has ever made one that has been like pristine, pure, super clean gloss. All of his stuff is pretty.
I mean, it's not very interesting. Lately I've been relicking guitars that come into the shop clean, and even when they leave, they're still what they are. And like, I don't want to mention any names, but I really dislike the big brand guitars. Not just because they may have hassled me, but I just disliked the products a long time ago. And I kind of lost my train of thought there, but the clean ones haven't. I guess to say the clean ones that have come in the shop haven't impressed me from a playability or sound standpoint either.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, I think the big attraction with relic guitars has been, it used to be, back before there was such a thing, if you saw a guitar that was, really rough around the edges, had lots of wear, you knew that guitar either sounded really good or somebody really loved playing that guitar. And I think that's what the attraction is. And it also, if you're like me, the first time you take a mint condition guitar out, it ends up with dings and scratches and things anyhow. So it's already done, and you don't have to baby it quite so much as you would. So I think that's cool. And I guess, are you using exclusively Sheptone pickups?
Almost. I have a stash of old made in Japan pickups. Like old Greco and Bernie Fernandez things.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yes. I have never played a pickup I've liked as much as these Sheptone stuff.
Yeah, I mean those are quality pickups, and
I cannot claim to have played a lot of boutique pickups, but when I was starting, I used. I went through a few of the big brands and ended up at Sheptone and another smaller brand kind of did a comparison. And I've really loved every Sheptone pickup I've played. It doesn't matter the variety. They, to me, just have a real depth of tone.
Yeah. And
a real depth of texture. The bloom, the attack, it's just cool. It's very, very three-dimensional, not flat sounding. And, a lot of other pickups to me sound very flat.
Yeah. Well, you have to trust your ear. I mean, and you're building these things and this is how you want them to sound. So yes.
and part of this, and I think this is really something that's built into Grit Brothers. It's really as much about the personal connections and actual nice interactions as it is other stuff, meaning I'm sure there are probably 10, 20, 30 great boutique maybe more pickup builders out there. I'm sure there's people who are just as good at what Joe Holiday does.
Yeah.
But I really like these people. I've gotten to know them over the years, and that kind of means as much to me, as anything. And I'm not saying that, I would use stuff if it didn't sound good. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to choose between things that do sound good, I'm going to err on the side of the person I know who's a good person.
Yeah.
And, and with all these guys and the interactions I've had with them over the years has been phenomenal, just really nice people. And that's, that has a lot to do with why I started doing this, was just to meet, broaden my world and meet cool people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way with Pick Guardian. I mean, the people that I've met, even normal everyday Joes all the way up to, top line touring pros. I mean, we're all. Is that
what it says on your website?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It should.
Okay, I'll put that on the next update.
Touring pros to regular Joes. Yeah. Custom pick guards.
Yeah, put that in your pipe
Your
and
chance
smoke
to
it.
make your guitar
Even more yours.
Yeah.
But anyhow, enough about
How
me.
do you do that?
We're like mind readers.
Yes.
We complete each other's sentences.
Yeah, like those twins that were going around the internet for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
From Australia.
But
Yeah, so, are you guys familiar with the phenomenon called trypophobia, an aversion to some clusters of small holes or bumps? Like in a loaded.
Yes.
Got ya. That's a big influence on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Sounds dumb, but I want my guitarist to make you feel that kind of way. I don't want this thing to look like, yes, it's been, aged correctly to be a, 1960 whatever. I want you to look at it and be like, that thing is weird. It's kind of bugging me out. Maybe I want to pick it up and play it.
Yeah.
And, so, to the folks that say like, no, those are like ripped jeans, whatever. Yes. If your ripped jeans were kind of intended to bug you out and make you slightly uncomfortable looking at them, and then make you want to then go out and make them make some noise, I guess maybe that might be an apt metaphor.
Yeah.
But it really, when I see like that lotus flower, it bugs me out. And I'm looking at a guitar right now with like weird hole patterns all over it. And it bugs me out a little bit. But that's kind of the intent.
So wait, do you have trypophobia?
I don't know if I have it. I know, like, when I just looked it up to figure out what to call it on the internet right now, when I'm looking at this picture is creeping me out. So whether or not I have it, I think it's kind of built into a lot of folks' just general perception of things that it's creepy looking. So I guess so. I guess maybe I've never been formally diagnosed, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. Does it weird you out to see things like stuck in people's like skin or?
Yeah, I mean, well, you just made me think of the first image I saw of that brought this to my attention, and it did involve a person's face and skin, and it was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
The guy also, I think at the time, was running the country, might still be. So
Yes.
it was really creepy. So that maybe made me think I had it. But again, it's just this idea of the contrasts, the kind of disturbed stuff. And I mean disturbed as in like the finish has been disturbed, not mentally disturbed, but like, it's been, we see like, the clean to dirty, like that's just kind of what I'm going for, is just to make it so when it's sitting in your room and you look at it, you think, maybe I should play it. I don't know why, but I'm just going to pick this up and play it.
Yeah.
There's a TV commercial that bugs me, so maybe I have a touch of this too. Have you seen the one where the guy has holes in his immune system? And
holes in his immune
Yeah.
system?
Is it like,
I forget.
it's like the graphic, it's like an infographic type thing?
No, it's actually like it's this guy, and then he's talking to someone. They says, "Oh, you've got holes in your immune system. You need to take this." And he says, "What holes?" And he looks down, and he's got like holes in his torso. It looks like it just bugs me. It's a weird commercial.
Yes, and I've kind of figured out a technique which I just won't go into, but I use to kind of make those patterns on guitars.
Okay. Just not all the way through, like in this commercial.
Yeah.
Not all the way through it. But, Billy Gibbons has or for a while he was playing a telly that kind of had that going on, like one of his super light things with like it was some sort of weird matrix.
Yeah.
Holding the guitar together.
I don't
know.
Anyhow.
Wild.
But so what's the procedure? So are these all made to order, or do you have like a stock of them and then
right now made to order. It used to be I had a stock of them. Right now it's made to order just because there are financial realities.
Yeah.
And so primarily, yes, I'm just working on a commission basis.
Okay. So if someone goes to your website or Instagram and they say,
I'd say go to Instagram. It's got so many great pictures.
And they say, "Ooh, I really like that." Yeah. They just get a hold of you and you say, "Okay, what do you want?"
Yeah, that's correct. And for early on, it's not as much as it used to be, but early on I figured out a lot of my sales came late at night when dudes were probably bored watching TV on the couch next to somebody or drinking. And, I ended up having a lot of fun conversations out in my shop at like 10:30, 11 that would result in a guitar commission.
Hey, there you go.
So, yeah, it's very informal. I am starting, at some point soon, my hope is that everything's going through River City Guitars.
Okay.
Because I would prefer to hand the business end of it off to somebody else because that's not my strong point.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, if you just, anybody hits me up on Instagram or, the contact form on the website, I was really flattered. I had a customer the other day say, "Hey, I'm in Germany. I've got a rule against buying anything from America right now, but I want one of your guitars." And so whether or not he's going to buy it, I thought that was kind of cool that he was making an exception for a Grit Brothers guitar.
Yeah. That's super cool.
So stuff like that, the website primarily or Instagram.
Okay, and you do a lot of different body styles, a lot of different things. Do you? There's a guy I can't remember his name. He's Japanese, and he's kind of famous for getting really really high end Porsches, and then basically just like literally starts cutting them up and kind of turning them into street Porsches, and then they're the value of the car just goes through the roof. But each one, the whole thing is he sits there and he looks at the car for like an hour while everybody's looking at him looking at the car for an hour and just smokes cigarettes. And then he goes, and then he just gets up and starts cutting into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I never heard of him, but that's actually a little too similar to what goes on in here. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. That might be the case.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah. Now, of the body styles that you do you like favor any of them?
Yeah, like one day I will build Yeah, I do. Probably the Jack, which I'm not going to mention which one it's based on. If you look at it, you can kind of tell. But it's named the Jack because it's an homage. It's a reference to an AC/DC song by that name. And so the guy in AC/DC that we all love, he plays one similar to it.
Gotcha.
But yes, that one, probably my first guitar hero was Angus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've always wanted one of those types of guitars. And then I had seen Fugazi play, and Ian McKay's just looked like his beat up one. That guitar was a big influence on kind of what I'm doing.
That was a big influence on a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw Fugazi play, and I listened to Minor Threat a bunch and wasn't even aware of him as a guitar player. Yeah. And saw his beat up SG and how fierce that thing sounded, just plugged straight in. Always. So I tend to favor that.
And if you were going to build one for yourself, is that the model you would use?
Well, it's one of them. Yes, I have sitting in my shed. One day when I can build one for myself, I'm going to. It's a one piece of white limba with a 58 huge neck on. So the biggest neck I can put on it, and it's a single piece of white limba. But I am also, from just a consumer standpoint, always enamored with the junior single cut. That's and I can't really make those right now. I'm probably going to make one for myself. Not really allowed to make those anymore, so I don't plan on doing it. If anybody's listening and might call those folks, I won't do it. But I have one for myself, and that happens to be, I found a long time ago I had a Fernandez copy of a Les Paul Standard, which was phenomenal. And under the brand name Bernie. And I also had the same guitar in a junior with a single P90. And I found that when I'd go to jam places, I kind of played the single pickup one more than the other one a lot. And there's just something about just a P90 and a single cut that's just I just love.
Single pickups, man. I've got a couple of those. I think there's a lot of people these days. Granted, I think, depending on what kind of music you're playing, that may not be the thing. But I think for quite a lot, it's a kind of a cooler way to go. And you don't have that extra magnet up front, like kind of pulling any kind of draw on the neck.
Some would argue that.
Some might argue that. Well, and because some guitars naturally they're going to be a little bit higher. Some you can dump down a little bit lower, but there's something cool about that. It's just it's like a straight edge razor.
I would argue that with a P90 in the bridge, you could play any variety of music. And I like playing a lot of older stuff. And if I'm using a guitar like that, I just strum up on the neck closer, move up the neck so that the tone gets warmer.
Yep.
There's so much tone versatility, in my opinion, in just a single P90 that, I think it'll kind of do almost that. Now, a lot of people wouldn't agree with me at all, but from what I play, I think I could kind of sit in and play along with about anything with one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't disagree. I'm there.
Yeah, I'm a single pickup guy myself. I like the simplicity. I like the especially if it's a P90. I'll take that any day of the week.
Any day of the week, then. So, okay, so you are going to be building out some new ones. Are you trying anything new outside of like the things that you've been doing? Like, has there been anything that we can see from you coming in the future? Like, any kind of aesthetic choices, or obviously you make a lot of choices when it comes to like the hardware and stuff.
So changes, not really. I mean, as far as the components, I've pretty much settled on what I want to use, and that's probably not changing, meaning, I really like Goto tuners. I really like Tone Pros bridges. And the thing is, when I am building, I guess what I call more free builds where they're not commissioned, and when I've done that, it's been honestly so spur of the moment decision, just like, hey, I think today I want to see what happens if I do this. And so there's very little forethought going into it, as far as the actuality of what these guitars are.
Okay, gotcha.
I just kind of get an idea and get inspired and try to make it. When I was doing more free builds, I'd say.
Now,
and I still have some planned. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Theme guitars. I know that you've done one that I'm aware of. Is that you want to talk about that and see where that goes?
Are you talking about the recent art collab I did?
Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, doing charity, raising some kind of money for charity is a big part of what I want to do. So that, recently I was able to auction off a guitar that was able to raise some money for an organization called AMI Kids, which works to keep kids who are at risk of being sucked into the juvenile justice system on a path that kind of gives them other options. Mm-hmm. And the collaboration, though, was with somebody who I've known for a really long time from my hometown. So that may have just been a one-off. I'm not sure. There are folks, that I've wanted to collaborate with for a while. And by that, I mean, send them a guitar, let them do their thing and send it back to me. I build it. But I don't have any others planned right now. But I was really happy with how that one came out because, it did allow me to raise some money for charity, allowed me to connect with somebody who I've known for like 30 years and don't really get a chance to, talk too much otherwise. Mm-hmm. So if there are options, if there's dynamics like that going on, it may happen. But that one really was kind of a one-off thing based on who the people involved were.
So, I kind of mentioned earlier about like, oh, there's something cool about, something from places that we aren't and that have storied pasts, and have got some history and stuff. How important or do you try to focus on like local source stuff or working with local people or builders or how do you play with the community that you live in?
Well, yeah, right now it's pretty much centered around a relatively new guitar store here in Richmond called River City Guitars. There hasn't, since I've lived here the last decade and a half, the primary option has been like a Guitar Center or a Sam Ash, which I really don't enjoy going to. Been fortunate enough that River City has opened very close to where I live personally. So right now I've had the opportunity to work with those guys and start to meet people in the community because I have a place where we can all kind of meet up.
Yeah.
And previous to that, really everything was online. Most of my customers were far from my locality. I just sent a guitar to Japan, sent one out of California, another one going to Canada very soon. So my local focus has been relatively recent. Mm-hmm. And that's mainly been because River City Guitars coming online has opened up doors for a lot of folks here in Richmond.
That's great news. Especially in when a lot of it is like we're seeing a lot of shops, having to close their doors and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a great time to be in the guitar business, which is fine, though, because it's not really what it's about. But I've been very, very happy that River City has been able to stay open. And they really are a hub here. It's, go hang out there and you can just meet a wide, diverse range of folks. And unlike some of the big box stores, it's just people hanging out, socializing,
the
playing guitar
destination
together. Yes, it's what I remember guitar stores being like when I grew up. And, with the advent of the big box store, which probably the first time I walked into one in the 90s seemed kind of neat for a minute. And, which really just kind of decimated, in my opinion, most local stores.
Yeah.
It's really neat to see this one coming up. And it's been really neat to actually meet the people buying my guitars and interact with them as opposed, it's been great, making friendships online. And My online customers are the best, and the guys on Instagram I've gotten to know are real friends at this point. But it's just a little different getting to see, maybe that accountability of being there when the guy has the guitar, and you get to see the look on their face if you don't like it or something,
Well, there's a bit too that I think, now this may be lost on some of our younger viewers, but I know when I was a kid, Tony, I'm sure you're going to be able to attest to this, and Dan, you're relatively in the same age range, but we had skate shops, we had BMX shops, we had different kinds of shops that we are into, and you could go there and feel like you belong, and then you would meet other people that also
like-minded people.
Like-minded people. Yes, that's correct, and that's how little scenes are born. That's how bands start. That's how friendships start. That's where people get discovered, and it's I'm looking up at the wall right now at Oakland Guitars.
Oh yes, Johnny,
and our friend Johnny, who's running that little shop, the little shop that could in Oakland, and he is absolutely doing a stellar job of doing just that, and I think we all could do with just a little bit more of that, Yeah,
it's funny. He's really nice. That is one of the folks I have gotten to know via Instagram over the last few years. And if logistics were easier, I'd really like my guitars to be in his shop. We kind of tried to make something happen a couple of years ago, and it didn't quite work out because there's always the reality of, getting the thing across, from Richmond to California, and then still have it be something that isn't then going to cost him or I, money as opposed to it. So, one day I would love to see stuff in his shop. I really like what his shop is about.
Yeah.
Without going one way or the other too much, Rip Brothers cares about folks, and he seems to care about people.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
That to me, that's important.
Regardless. That's the big word.
And I don't mean, I'm not, not speaking on any kind of particular slant, just in general. I like people who care about other folks. And, and that's the people I would like to interact with and do work with and business with. So, his store seems great.
Yeah.
And
I'm also reminded of LSJ Music Company up in Wisconsin. Okay. Also a great friend of the show, and is very active in trying to create a community spirit, lots of events and stuff at the shop. And, it's good that they're out there doing that. And it's good that you're out there doing your thing, man.
Well, it's nice. And I just, I tell them over at River City a lot, I have a vested interest in them doing well.
Sure.
I as a guy who is trying to build guitars and find people who want them, man, to have a nice little gem like that within, a short drive is just a godsend. So I appreciate those dudes a lot.
I noticed on the River City site, they rolled out the River City Relics program. Is that something you're involved with?
That's me.
Ah, that is you.
Okay.
I am the relic.
Yeah, Patrick is, Patrick with River City, a buddy of mine. Kind of we talked that he is fielding the work, and then I'm taking care of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and kudos to him, and thank you to him for giving me a chance to do it. It's been a blast.
Very cool. Well, it has been a delight talking with you, learning about your brand, learning about what makes you tick as far as your creativity and desire to make things. People who just have an inherent need to actually make things. It's important to have those people out there.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been a little bit. Yeah, are you familiar with the stories of like Mr. Toad?
Oh yeah. My name's Todd. I got a lot of Mr. Toad thrown at me.
Yeah, well, he was prone to manias.
Yes,
and I've had a couple of them, and this just happened to have been
fits
one of
greatness.
Yeah, well, it's ups and downs for sure, man. But it's just been more like a mania just hit me in early 2021, and here I am.
There you go.
But I'm going to be really unhappy if I don't get a Would You Rather.
We're about to dip right into that.
Oh,
All right.
we spoke too soon.
I really want that Would You Rather.
Okay.
Here we go. Go ahead, Tony.
Todd, at this point of the show,
Would you rather?
Todd loves to push the button.
I do.
Too soon at inopportune times. That's right. This point of the show is a little game we play called Would You Rather. This week, congratulations.
Yes.
Yes. You made a trip to Oak Island.
Oh, jeez.
And you sat
That
down
thing.
on this rock.
Oh, my gosh.
You sat down on a
Oak
rock.
Island.
And as you sat down,
Is there any island left? Didn't they dig up the entire island?
it's pretty much all done.
Jeez.
But you sat on this rock, and this opening opens on the side of a hill.
Uh-huh.
And it's the secret entrance to the Knights Templar treasure.
Oh.
No one is around. You get yourself, fill your pockets up, and you got your stuff.
Okay. I didn't know the Knights Templar made it all the way to.
They did.
They did. Okay.
If you read your history,
Okay.
we'll talk about Friday the 13th
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
Actually, the next
They
couple
walked over here.
No,
Anyways,
they
go ahead.
they sailed over.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later.
Uh-huh.
But anyhow, to reward your newfound wealth
Uh-huh.
and esteem,
Yes.
you decide that you're going to have a custom-made guitar.
Okay.
You find the perfect guy to...
Because you got the treasure.
You got the treasure.
Okay.
You got the treasure. You've cashed some of it in to reward
And
yourself.
so I could finally afford to buy one of my own guitars.
Yes.
Excellent.
That'd be great.
So you find who you think is the perfect person to build this. It could be somebody like Dan from Grit Brothers or
Yeah.
some other fine builder
Sure.
in these United States. The problem is this guy, he only makes two kinds of guitars,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
So
This particular guy that we're
the
getting
guy
one
that
from.
you're sold on, he's a legend.
So we're all sold on the same guy.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
all sold on the same guy. And the two guitars that he makes are SGs
Ugh.
and Strats.
Uh-huh.
But there's a further twist. Because the SGs that he makes have 3 Strat pickups, a tremolo, a 25.5-inch scale,
A Kaler tremolo?
and a set neck. No. Well, here's the rub.
Yeah.
The SG body is too thin to put a standard Strat tremolo in, so you have to come up with something different.
Okay.
Maybe like a Mustang tremolo.
Duesenberg.
Yeah, or a doozy.
Yeah.
The Strats that he makes
Uh-huh.
are all mahogany neck and body. Mm-hmm. Has a bolt-on neck. Mm-hmm. 24 3/4 inch scale, hard tail, and it's got 2 humbuckers.
I thought you were going to say 3.
No, 2.
You should have 3.
It's like if you picture in your head,
They're the opposite.
it's opposite land.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So, would you rather have the SG made from alder and maple with 3 Strat pickups,
Yeah.
and a trem, and a longer scale, or a Strat made from mahogany with a bolt-on neck, shorter scale, 24 3/4 Gibson scale, and a hardtail bridge with 2 humbuckers?
By the way, has anybody actually seen an SG that would have 3 single pickups?
Seen them
Gibson
with 2, for sure.
Gibson has made a 3 pickup, but not with a slanted bridge pickup like a Strat.
Okay.
They did make one.
3 in a row.
Yeah, they were. Well, they're actually a little bit smaller pickups that Gibson did. They were basically half humbuckers. Yes, I'm one of those squirrels. But this is the way that it goes. And because of
aren't they all half humbuckers if it's only a single coil, Tony?
no, the Gibson
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Gibson used one of their coils that they would normally put in a humbucker.
uh-huh.
2 coils. They used one of those. Coils,
Right.
You see.
Right. Okay.
Is that
So-
like the Intruder or something?
It was called the SG3, maybe?
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
SG3. I'm looking this
SG3.
monstrosity up. Okay, what do we got here?
Look at the pictures. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's not my bag of chips, but it's somebody's.
Well, here you go. As often the case, it would be the lesser of two evils. So would you rather have the SG, a.k.a. with Strat stuff, or the Strat with SG stuff? Shall I go first?
Yep.
Just so you know, these are two of Todd's favorite guitars.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yes.
It's all part of my...
The sarcasm is dripping.
Yes. Oak Island. I am going to go with the Strat.
Okay.
If you remember an episode or two ago, we talked about the Toronado.
Yes.
Which also had a 24 3/4 inch scale length. And I had one of those, and it was actually quite comfortable. And I do like mahogany as tone wood. It's a little less stable for neck wood, but it sounds good.
Yeah,
it sounds real good. And a hardtail Strat, I'm sold on those every day of the week.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only
Same.
Strat that I've
ever seen one with your.
The only Strat that I regret selling was a Japanese hardtail Strat.
Okay,
and I mean it totally changes the body or the sound of the guitar because it doesn't have that big honking trem section routed out of the back. But yeah, that's what I think that one would just be perfect for me.
Okay. Dan, I don't peg you as a Strat guy, but you might surprise me right now.
In this one, yeah, definitely, I would go with the Strat. I would not want to. I've got to go with the Strat in this case. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Todd.
So this is why Tony's got me bent over a barrel. Both of these are like kryptonite to me.
Yes.
That being said, the idea of the single, just the abomination,
the humanity.
I can't believe I have to pick one of these. I'll go with the Strat too, I guess.
All right, another unanimous decision.
Yeah. I personally, if I'm going to play a Strat, I strongly prefer it to be hardtail.
Yeah.
The guitar I regret selling was a 76, I think, tobacco burst hardtail I had in the 90s. But I couldn't stand the pickups in it, and so I didn't keep it.
Yeah.
So, also, I don't know if you were aware. Have you ever seen any footage of Prince from, let's say, I don't know, like 2007-ish? He was using these custom like Strats that apparently had these short scale necks with a composite radius.
Oh wow!
And what I'd read about them was that they played more like a Gibson style neck, but it was double humbucker Strats with like a Floyd Rose.
Huh? I'll have to.
And
I'll have to
of course, he was killing it.
Well, I think you could put a harmony in his hands and he would be killing it.
But it seemed to be his thing for a while. It seemed to be all these specifically very similar Strats with, maybe as a Kaler, actually, now I think about it, I don't know. So Prince wasn't against them. Prince was cool with it, so,
Yeah. I gotta give you some credit, man. You are a kindred spirit here. You've referenced Johnny Cash, Fugazi, AC/DC, Minor Threat, Gershwin, Dead Kennedys, and Prince. That's awesome. Hey, not a lot of people have range these days, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I told somebody else it's not range. It's just that I do not have any identity tied up in the music I listen to. And I just like listening to stuff that reminds me of stuff I like remembering.
Yeah. Sounds good. Downey, I think we need to thank not a few people, a lot of people.
A lot of people. Even some people that aren't on this list. But the people we like to thank the most are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become an executive producer? Well, you head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate, become a friend, a sponsor, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win great stuff. And oh my goodness, the list goes on and on and on. But I'm told there is one thing more.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
You get to have your name read on the thing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Pluton, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Brazen, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, and Ed Rossler.
Yes.
But Todd, there's more. There's a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the A number ones, the top of the heap. And they wear a fez right on their head whilst listening to this podcast.
Indeed.
So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs. Anthony Jamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robinson, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and Kenny Howells.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Helping us make 26 a good one for the show, and for you out there, for our audience. We truly appreciate you. Dan, it has been a absolute pleasure talking to you, learning all about your good stuff that you make. We're glad that you're out there doing that and connecting with the community. And yeah, it's good that you're doing that. So where can people find the things that you do?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the website or URL, if that's how some like to say it, is realgritbrothers.com. And luckily, the search terms Grit Brothers Guitars are unique enough that my stuff will come up and you'll find everything. Also, find me on Instagram at Grit Brothers Guitars.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice.
And may I please give a shout out to one person I did not mention today, but it is Tony at Amturco Guitar Company. One thing I did not mention is I am trying to incorporate more and more of his electronics into my builds. His stuff is amazing. He makes wiring harnesses that are like pieces of art.
Oh, wow.
So perhaps stay tuned for more collabs coming with him.
Amturco. All right.
Amturco. They're great stuff.
We appreciate shout outs. Tony, where can people find the things that you do?
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you're trying to do, what you need, what guitar, what pickups, what material, all the stuff. I'll make something special for you. As Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
That is correct. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Love to hear from you. Tell us what you think. What's going on with your guitar world? Give us a would you rather, for Pete's sakes.
Yes,
we
please.
could use some new ones.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard much from Bob Crouch or Bruce. Or a handful of others, but send them our way. That's hoping that they'll jump back on the treadmill there for us. Anyways, it was great talking with Dan Rigby from Grit Brothers, and go check those guitars out. Have a fantastic guitar weekend. Subscribe.
it seems that my LinkedIn profile of it shows up in the Grit Brothers Guitar search results, at some point.
Now there's
there's
three of you look nothing alike. What game are you playing, Dan?
Do you look like Dr. Drew, Hank Williams, or a senator? There's one that says 100 plus Dan Rigby profiles.
Yeah, it really is a big name in the UK, and the one that I used to like, and I would look up this guy Dan Rigby, and he's a tennis pro in the Bahamas, and he seemed cool. That guy looked like he was really cool. Like the last official job title I had was senior digital media advisor. So I did stuff like that for a long time.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't say male prostitute.
Fred Garvin,
Fred Garvin,
prostitute.
No,
Help me with this trust.
No, not that. I don't have that much game. I never had.
Yeah. What, Tony? Why are you looking at me weird?
Oh, okay. No, never mind. I'm okay.
Never mind.
Never mind.
You look
Probably
twice
just
at me weird.
I mean, it sounds like lust.
We are recording, but this isn't part of the actual episode. We take a bunch of funny bits and put them at the end, but we won't say that. Cool. I promise.
No, I know. That's not why I asked. I don't care about that at all.
Okay,
no,
then we will.
No, then it's in there.
I really,
Guaranteed.
Tony, you got a would you rather for us?
I have to.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.